Put that on when we get tattooed.
You drop it. The dudes, right?
Hello, Mom? Yeah, bitch, I'm getting a tattoo.
Express themselves, decorate themselves, look cool. That's the reason I get them, man. I mean, a lot of my tattoos, they don't really mean much, I just like the way they look, so. And that's, to me, the reason why you should get tattooed.
No other canvas screams and cries and calls up Jesus.
It's not a church, you know. We don't always get the best characters in here.
It's the closest thing you can get to being a rock star without having to play an instrument. It's kind of a hard business to be in. I have 2 ex-wives to prove it. My name is Jack Myhoover. I am from, originally, Denver. We all have specific kinds of art that we like to do. Any artist is like that. A fine artist has specific kind of things they like to paint, you know, be it landscapes or naked girls or something. Everybody's got their own little thing. I like doing like Japanese style stuff or like traditional American tattooing. It's permanent. Don't get something because it's cool or because, you know, your friends have it. I see people that do just ridiculous stuff all the time, you know, and they don't put a lot of forethought into it. I had a girl in here the other day that wanted me to tattoo something on her finger. She's 18. I was like, it's probably not a good idea. It could prevent you from getting a job in the future. And that thought had never occurred to her. She just kind of looked at me for a minute and went, oh, and then left. I encourage all apprentices to do at least one little thing on themselves. And you're way less nervous doing your first tattoo on yourself than you would be your friend or something.
There's an old saying in tattooing, any tattooer who tattoos himself has a fool for a client. Think about it this way, if you were being tattooed, would you want your tattooer to be in discomfort, pain, distracted?
I've done one tattoo, but it was like a few years ago before I ever even thought about apprenticing. Needless to say, it's really, really bad. I'm an apprentice slash janitor slash taxi slash.
This better not be in the fucking documentary.
I can simplify it, but you don't.
No designs on the inside.
No designs on the inside, just like an outline of the wolf.
That's it. One. I'll go with that.
Nothing gonna hurt us there. That's what you're worried about. You're worried about pain, so.
No, I ain't worried about that.
Derek, but here at the shop they call me Joe Black. I'm 28 and I'm from Miami. I look up to my mentors, really, ES and Miss Heidi.
My motivation every single time I do a tattoo is to learn something, to create art that the person who is receiving the art is absolutely in love with, to love what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and to make a little dough in the process. My name is Heidi. I'm known in the business as Miss Heidi. That's the name of the shop that we're in. I was born overseas in Italy, but I spent most of my adult life in the Pittsburgh area. I now reside here in Orlando. Are you sure you have time for that question? I am a female in a male-dominant industry for 20 years. That's going to be a long answer. Everything from not being able to get a client in my chair just because of my gender. Not even looking at my work. But in the beginning, when I first started tattooing, for one thing, women who looked like me from the right side of the tracks did not belong in a tattoo shop. For the very first time in my life, coming from a good background acted as a deterrent in my career. It's a whole new world. And the fact of the matter is, I stuck it out, and here I am. My mainstream look actually works to my advantage these days.
The one that really means the most is the one I got for my grandmother when she passed.
I have a tattoo for my son.
One on my thumb was actually done by my mom. She says mommy.
This one. And then the next one. And the one before this. And the one after that.
Express themselves, decorate themselves, look cool. That's the reason I get them, man. I mean, a lot of my tattoos, they don't really mean much. I just like the way they look, so. And that's, to me, the reason why you should get tattooed. My name's Lou Pimble. I am 28 years old and I'm from England. I started off doing body piercing. I went to art college for like 8 years. So I started doing a lot of drawing, a lot of illustration stuff. Kind of got into the tattooing thing just from hanging out in tattoo shops, really. I like doing traditional Japanese tattooing. The guy who taught me to tattoo was a member of the Japanese Tattoo Association. To me, I really look at the old traditional guys, the Hiroshi family. There's like third generation of those guys. There's a lot of good guys out there, man. I mean, find the right artist. You got to be comfortable with them. You got to know them a little bit. You got to see their work. Look out for good portfolio. They haven't got a good portfolio, then don't touch it.
Tattooing is unlike any other form of art. It's not like painting where you can just paint over. So it's difficult for some people to make the transition from, say, being an illustrator, an airbrush artist to a tattooer. I have seen people do weird stuff. I was tattooing some stripper who, for some reason, she got really lightheaded, and I think it just has to do with being nervous. She passed out. She came right back. I gave her a cup of water, and she laid there. She was like, okay, I'm fine. Threw up all over herself, then stood up, took all her clothes off, and passed out again.